Okay, so I would want us to look at various scenarios here. The scenario number one is that this student called Irene Njuki gets a loan of 10 million. Gets a loan of 10 million. So this loan, number of years, she's supposed to pay this loan over 5 years. And then since it's a mortgage, they have given us the rate of interest. Interest rate, we have here 10%. The company has negotiated, remember, 10%. Like that. So then you're required here to come and give us a loan amortization schedule. So you're required here, you are required to prepare a loan amortization schedule. How do we do this? Very easy. So the first thing you need to know is how much will this lady called Irene be paying on an yearly basis? What is the installment? So step number one, determine. Step number one, determine the installment amount. So this installment amount is what we call, ladies and gentlemen, is what we shall be calling here PMT. Is what we shall be calling PMT. PMT for payment. How much will she be paying on a monthly basis? So then how do we get this PMT in Excel? It's very easy. What I'll do, I will come here and say PMT. I go to the next cell. It's a function. So I have to start my cell with equals. It's a function, PMT. When I type the PMT, I can see it is coming here. It calculates the payment for a loan based on constant payments and a constant interest rate. So PMT is there. So I click on it. Once I click on it, I'm able to see what they want me to enter here. The first thing is the rate. So where is the rate? 10%. I say comma. NPR stands for number of periods. How many years? Number of years here are 5. Comma. The next, they want me to give them the present value. Presently, Irene is being given 10 million. So present value is a loan. This lady is being given 10 million. So this future value and type are in square brackets, meaning that they are not a must. So please come and close this. Your answer will come in the form of negative. Of course, if you'd want it not to be negative, you put after equals, you put a negative there to cancel that negative. But in this case, let me just say Control, Enter. So I can see there that on a yearly basis, Irene will be required to pay 2 million, 0.6, something like that. I don't want that minus. I would want to do away with that minus. So what I need to do is to come here and say F2. F2 makes the formula come live on the cell. If I press F2, the formula is live there. Once it's live, either from the formula bar or even just here, you can come and say equals. Or after equals, you say minus. And then you say Enter. So, ladies and gentlemen, you'll allow me like 5 minutes. I just do the entire question without you writing anything, and then I'll come back and pick you up. Please give me 1 minute. So 5 minutes actually. So the first thing you do is to determine the installment amount, which is the PMT. So that I have done. So from there, the next thing that you will do is to come here and give us a loan amortization schedule. A loan amortization schedule. So of course, we shall start with years. So years, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are few years. So from there, I have the opening balance. After the opening balance, I have, ladies and gentlemen, in this case here, what we call the interest. After interest, I have, in this case here, my installment, which I'll be calling the PMT. After that, I'll show you two methods. We have the closing balance. I'll show you two methods. Great. I would want these terms to fit in very well. So when I want terms to fit in very well, what I do is to come and highlight the entire sheet. To highlight the entire sheet, you come up here. In between there, you can see there is like an angle here. So click there. Once you click there, now you can go to any column in between. Adjacent columns A, B, you can see there is an in between. So once you put your arrow there, you should be able to double click and you'll be able to get everything coming up very nicely. So I'm interested, ladies and gentlemen, in this. So what is the opening balance? The opening balance, already I know. This lady has borrowed 10 million. So I'll come and pick this 10 million figure. I'll pick it. Tab. Interest is always pegged on. Interest is always pegged on the opening balance. So what I need to do is to come and take the opening balance, which began with this. We say times the rate of interest. Then I move to the next one. The installment, I know the installment, ladies and gentlemen, here is this. I'll pick it. But what do you know about this installment? This installment is going to be constant throughout. We shall not be changing this installment. So if the installment shall not be changing, can somebody tell me which function should I press? If the installment shall not be changing, which function shall I press to tell Excel that, you know what, that number has to be held down throughout the way it is? F4. F4. Once I press F4 to show that this thing is locked, you can see there are dollar signs, dollar, dollar. And then that reminds me that I need to go back to the interest here and say F2 to bring the formula live. I'm saying F2, ladies and gentlemen, here. Nope, I should have done some better. I should have done better. So in this case here, the installment is this. I've been able to lock it up, and then I say enter, and then I can now go back to this interest. So now this interest, I need to bring the formula to the cell. So I say F2. Once I say F2, I'm able to remember here that this rate of interest is not going to change. You can see it is in red. guys, are you able to hear mwalimu? Are you able to hear mwalimu? Are you able to hear mwalimu? Okay. So remember we have said, if you are writing down, some of you like writing down on some notebook. We've said that the first thing is to determine the installment that this great lady called Irene will be paying on a yearly basis. Will be paying on a yearly basis. Determine the installment. And this installment is called PMT in Excel. It's a PMT function. So then what I want you to do is to come and write PMT, and then you look for a fresh cell here, and then you say equals, because you must start with equals. You look for PMT. You can see PMT payment has come here. So you click it, double click it. And then it wants you to pick the rate, number of periods, and a present value, those three aspects, because these two are in square brackets, meaning that they are not mandatory. So the rate is the interest rate. It is 10%. You say, comma, number of periods I'm picking, there are 5. I say, comma, present value is the loan this lady took, which is 10 million. And then I should be able to close brackets like that. And then I should be able to enter. I should be able to enter like that. So I'm getting Kenya shillings 2.637 negative. And I don't want it to be negative. But first of all, before I show you how to kill that negative, I want to know whether there is anybody who has been able to get that PMT. Let me know whether there is anybody who has been able to get that PMT. Let me know whether there is anybody who has been able to get that PMT. Great. I'll repeat severally. I'll repeat severally. Great. Yeah, don't worry. Kenya shillings or even dollars, let them be there. Don't worry. It's like taking a loan today and starting paying interest in me immediately. It's in dollars. Don't worry about dollars. Let them be. Let them be. We shall be able to show you how to change later. Great. So let me, ladies and gentlemen, in this case here, got it here. So the PMT, how do I get the PMT? I have to start with equals. So I press PMT. There are 3 PM, or rather this PMT. Simply come and double click. You take this to the cell. So the rate is 10%. You say, comma. We are following here. Number of periods, 5. Comma. Present value is the loan amount. Don't worry about whatever is in square brackets, close, like that, enter. So I want us to rub this negative. To rub this negative is very easy. If you put this cursor here, you are seeing the formula up here. Once you see the formula up there, just go after equals. After equals, simply say minus. After equals, say minus, so that you can cancel that negative like that. So all of us, have we been able to cancel this negative? All of us, have we been able to cancel this negative? Thank you very much. Now from there, ladies and gentlemen, go straight away to the loan amortization schedule now. So right there, loan amortization schedule. So this loan amortization schedule, so I have it here. I will start with years. The lady is required to pay in 5 years, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are coming in form of Kenya shillings. I'll not be in this case here. So they're coming in whatever currency. I'll simply come and tell them I want a number. I want number 1, 2, 3. I don't want Kenya shillings. Great. So I want to know whether all of us have been able to write 1 up to 5. It's a simple thing, but ensure that you are moving with us. It's a very simple thing, but ensure that you are moving with us. And ensure that you are moving with us. And ensure that you are moving with us. 1 to 5. Of course, there is that shortcut of doing it. I'll be able to show you the shortcut again, but remember, I can't show you so many shortcuts in one question. Okay. So then what do you think, ladies and gentlemen, will be the first column title here after the years? What do you think will be the next column title? I bring on board the loan. So opening balance. Opening balance. After opening balance, what do you think will be the next title? Opening balance, we charge interest on it, isn't it? Interest. Interest. After that, after interest, or what else? Installment paid, isn't it? We can call it the PMT. PMT is the same as installment. And then after that, we need to come and capture the closing balance. Great. So now I have everything. I have everything. Let me know whether you guys have been able to write those titles, all of them. Let me know whether you guys have been able to write those titles, all of them. Just be relaxed. Relax. Relax. This BDA normally scares students because most of the times students are never relaxed. There's even somebody who gets nausea whenever they think of having a BDA class in the evening, out of just no good reason. So now we are together. So then for first year, what is the opening balance for the first year? What is the opening balance? I'll come and look at the loan this lady borrowed. I don't have to type numbers. Whenever I have numbers up here, what I need to do is to come here and say equals. I pull this 10,000 down. And then I say enter. Now the next one is the interest. Interest for the first year. We know that this guy stayed with our money, which was 10,000 for the whole of the first year. For the whole of the first year, remember it's reducing balance. It's reducing balance basis. So interest, I'll come and say, oh yeah, equals to get started. And then I pick the opening balance. And then I'll come and multiply this with what here? I multiply this with the rate of interest, 10%. I go next, PMT. There is something I haven't done. There is something I haven't done, ladies and gentlemen. And I always keep on telling you, like when I was doing Visual Basic sometime back when I was in college, anytime I made a programming mistake, and I was getting, in this case here, quite useless answers. When I looked at my teacher, told my teacher, I mean, what's not happening? My teacher always used to tell me, you know what, you've committed an ID10T error. And over a year, I believe that he used to really that there was an error called ID10T error. Then later on, I came and discovered that this guy was calling me an idiot. I felt so sad. But again, I had to forgive him and even forgive myself, because if for a whole year, I did not get even to think that this ID10T error does not exist, for sure I must have been having a problem that time. So like now here, I've committed that ID10T error. I've committed the ID10T error. Which error is this? When I was pressing this here, there is this cell called cell E6, which is the interest rate cell. This interest rate cell is supposed to be fixed. So I'm supposed to come back to the formula here, click there. You can see now it is in red. Once I click there, then I should be able to fix it. So how do I fix it? By pressing F4. F4. I'm fixing the interest because the rate of interest never changes. Anything that never changes in Excel, will always, ladies and gentlemen, be done what here? Will always be fixed. Some of you to fix, you must press F4. You must press function, FN, with F4 together. And then you go to tab. So the tab there, I'm going to this PMT. So PMT is the payment. Fortunately, I have it. I'll simply pull it from here. As I pull it, it's not lost on me. I know that this particular installment will remain the same throughout. So I'll need to come and block it. lock it up by saying F4. Once I say F4, I need to tab to move to the right. I use the tab. Tab is this function which is on top of your caps lock. On top of your caps lock, you'll be able to see the tab TAB. So when I press it, then I'll be able to go to the closing balance, which is the last column. What do you think shall I do to be able to get this closing balance? What do you think shall I do to be able to get this closing balance? What do you think shall I do to be able to get this closing balance? What do you think shall I do to get the closing balance? Please relax. Even me, I'm so relaxed as I teach. Relax. Relax. That thing, if I get you sweating because of BDA, I think you should just give me permission to whip you, because you are a good classic example that deserves what you're whipping. Why should you? No, relax. Even if you are saying nothing, relax and ask questions. And ask questions. Ask as many questions as you wish. So they're telling me, Mwalimu, to get the closing balance, take the opening balance here. You say plus the interest, plus this interest, and then you less the payment. And then you say, in this case here, enter. I would want to know, ladies and gentlemen, whether there are students who have been able to reach where I have reached. Let me see. Is there any student who has been able to reach where I have reached? Year number one. Year number one. Is there any student who has been able to reach where Mwalimu has reached? Great. You guys are geniuses. Great. 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 Yeah. Is F4 same as shift 4? No, Christine. This will be the same as, you know, F4 is one of those functions which are up there. If your F4 is not working directly, it means you press function first, and then you say what here, F4, like that. You say F4, like that. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the second year. So in the second year, we start with the opening balance. And you're the ones who told me, Mwalimu, opening balance for year 2 is the same as what? Closing balance for year 1. So you simply need to pull it to say equals, and then you pull the figure from here. You pull it. Don't use enter, use tab. To go to the next cell, use tab. So now I'm looking at the interest. How do I get the interest? It's very easy. I'll pick the amount outstanding at the beginning of the year, and then I'll say times, I pick this interest here. I have the interest. I know the interest is 10%. And you're the ones who told me, Mwalimu, stop these concepts of ID10T error. This interest is going to be constant throughout. And if it's going to be constant throughout, then you must use F4. Then go to the tab here. So tab, ladies and gentlemen, I'm picking this payment, I'm picking it from here, and it must be constant. It must be constant. So as I pick it from there, then I have to press F4, like that. Let me check whether I'd pressed F4 for this one. Yes, it's there. And then closing balance, you've told me to come and take the opening plus the interest minus the payment, and then you say control what here, enter. Now, once I do that, I'll come and highlight year number 2. I highlight year number 2. Once I highlight year number 2, now I can see my rabbit, white rabbit, moving around. I want it to be caged. Put it in its cage here, until it becomes black. Once it becomes black like a cat, hit it twice. It's not a very good animal now. It's angry. Hit it twice. Double click is what I mean by hitting it twice. Double click. And then now your amortization schedule will come like that to 0. If you get 0 there, then you're perfectly doing a nice job. Doing a nice job. So is there somebody who has been able to amortize theirs to the end, to 0? Because amortization means to 0. It's like depreciation. Great. I'm getting, in this case here, great. How did you get closing balance? I'll be able to show you in a moment. how I got the closing balance. Yes, you can remember the assumption here is that Irene will be making this installment, on a yearly basis. On a yearly basis. So Yanka there, Omar there, I can see Mary dancing. I can see Mary dancing. I can see Mary dancing. Fatuma got it right. Yeah, great, great. We're overcoming now. Repeat the last part for the drop down. I'll be able to repeat yes. Now, Sha is the best because Sha has even known where the guitar is. Sha has known where the guitar is. Part of the last step, I'll be able to pardon yes. Great. So, ladies and gentlemen, see what I'm doing here. So I will come here. I will come here. I will come here and go back. If you want me to pardon the last. So when I'm here, I can even do like that. And then if you wish, you can simply come and put that cross there. And then you can even drag down. You don't have to double click. You can drag it down. If I say Control Z to go back, I'll put my cursor here. And then I'll be able to drag down like that. But the better thing to do is to imagine of this white great rabbit. But if it's caged here, it becomes an ugly rabbit. Ugly, and angry. So you have to be tough on it. You hit it twice, you double click. You double click like that, you'll be able to get to that. So what I would want us to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to have those students who haven't yet gotten the question correctly, sharing their screen. If you guys could share your screen, I'll be a very happy man. Anybody who has not gotten the question, the amortization schedule correctly, please share screen, and then I'll be able to mark for you. Rhoda has shared her screen. Yeah, closing balance. Closing balance is very easy. Put equals there. You take the opening plus the interest. Minus PMT. Okay, and then although you will not be right, could you kindly put your cursor on the PMT? Put your cursor on the PMT. You can see your PMT is not fully locked. So please lock it by pressing F4. Put your cursor, first of all, in the formula F11. Up there in the formula, put your cursor there for the formula to come live. Oh, no, you should have just clicked. Don't highlight. Click in front. Click in front. Have you clicked really? I don't know. Okay, you can again start. You can even grab it. You pull it again. You can just say equals. Equals. Escape. I think you are. Yep. Before you say enter, say F4. Say F4. Great. Now say enter. Now go back to the interest. Go back to the interest. Let's calculate that interest afresh because it's wrong. Let's calculate it afresh. Say equals. Take the 10 million opening balance. You say times 10% up there, which is going to be constant. So F4. Great. Now take that cursor to year number 2. So year number 2, what is the opening balance? Great. Enter. Go to the interest of year 2. Say equals. You pick the opening year times the rate of interest. What do you know about the rate of interest? 10%. It has to be done what year? F4. Thank you very much. Go to payment. So payment, you know you're picking it from there, and it has to be F4 because payment will always be constant. Now go to closing balance. Closing balance, what are we doing there? Equals opening plus interest minus payment. Enter. So now highlight just row 2. The figures of row 2, I highlight them all. Go to that angry rabbit, great, and then scroll down, take it down. You can see it is coming nicely there, up to 0. Someone else in this case, he wasn't yet gotten this. Can you kindly come to us and share your screen? Somebody who has not understood this, please again share your screen. Please again share your screen. CPA Joseph Kingi, great. I'm seeing your screen. All right. All right. I think it's correct if I'm not wrong. Just put your cursor on the interest for year 1. Interest for year 1. Put your cursor there. I see something. Oh, I can see there's a 47 there. Just start again. Start again. Start again. Okay, so we start with the opening balance. The PMT figure, I'm told the PMT figure is incorrect. Let's calculate the PMT figure. Start from the equals. Equals PMT. Double click that PMT. The rate is 10%, comma. Number of periods are 5. Okay, no problem. Number of periods are 5, comma. And then we have the amount is that one there. Close brackets. Instead of, look at C46. C46, you have used a dot instead of a comma. C46, instead of a comma, you used close, enter. And then now, your amount up there, you need to increase 1 0. Your amount is supposed to be 10 million up there. The amount is supposed to be 10 million. Not that one, that one. Put 1 more 0, and you need to use the separators for you not to be wrong. Okay. So I hope now it's correct. So I want us to cancel that negative when it's in brackets like that. We're going to come and cancel the negative by putting an equals, after equals minus there. Thank you. So then now move with speed. Pick the opening balance. Pick the opening balance at 10 million. Let's calculate the interest. You can also use plus, it works equals. You have that times. No, don't lock that one. Times, yes. F times interest. Interest, rate of interest is 10%. Yep. So then what do we do with that? Thank you so much. Great. Great. Go to PMT. PMT, you're picking some figure there. Equals, you pick it and lock it. I mean, lock it. How do you say enter without locking it? You have to lock it. So go to that C49 up there, or pick it again. Equals. Equals. I'm going to say equals again, you pick it. You haven't said equals, my friend. Just go back to that PMT for year 1. PMT for year 1. Just go back there. PMT for year 1. Just say equals again. Say equals inside. Pick that 2 million. Pick it. Say F4. Great. Go to the closing balance. Equals. So you pick the opening balance plus the rate of interest minus the PMT, then you go to year number 2. So year number 2, my brother, what do you know about close? Take the closing balance there. Interest, calculate interest, and please remember to always do away with all ID10T errors. No. That will not be correct, my friend. Interest is always pegged on the opening balance. Interest will always be pegged on the opening balance, not the closing balance of the last year. Of course, I know the figures will be the same, but it's good to follow the procedure. So that one times the rate of interest, which is 10%. And now remember that this 10% must be done what here? Locked, because the rate of interest is the same. Go to PMT, equals, we pick the PMT, which will always be what here, umeshatoka hapo bila ku F4, and yet you know that that figure is supposed to be constant throughout. So go to the closing now. So closing, you are taking the opening plus the interest minus the PMT, Great. Now put your angry, not angry rabbit, but first of all, the friendly rabbit. You use it to highlight up to there, and then the angry, and then you double click. It will amortize to zero. So thank you very much. I believe now everybody is a little bit, you can't be 100% comfortable, but I hope everybody is a little bit comfortable. Okay. So is that okay? Can I move on to something different? Can I move on to another method of solving this? Thank you. So then I would want stop video. Great. New messages. Thank you, Horace. I've seen your question. I'm coming to that actually. So assuming, ladies and gentlemen, then I have this kind of an arrangement. Assuming that this is the arrangement that I'm talking about. Now, here I want to work with the loan that I took myself. I took a loan, a mortgage. Actually, I believe in mortgages. I can't survive without mortgages. Do we have students in this case here who also have mortgages? Is there any student who has a mortgage here, perhaps for the house you're staying? So the mortgage here, the interest rate, my interest rate in those old days, it was not negotiated by the employer. So the interest was quite crazy. It was 14%. The mortgage was a 25-year mortgage. 25-year mortgage. Number of years. No, it stands for number of years. Okay. So, however, I was required in this case here to pay on a monthly basis. So remember, this is interest per annum, right? This is interest per annum. This is a number of years. So then what I need to do is to come and give them interest per month. So interest per month, what do? I will come and say equals, I pick the interest per annum, I say divided by 12. I say enter. And then now from there, I have norm. Norm stands for number of months in total. Remember norm? I know I'm supposed to pay this in 25 years, but each year has got how many months? 12 months. So I have NOI is number of years. Norm is number of what year? Months. Number of months. So I hope that we are together up to here. I hope students have been able to write up to there. Is there somebody who has finished writing up to there where Mwalimu is? Okay. So remember, what have I done? I just took a loan of 10.5 million, interest per a whole year. Interest per annum is 14%. But you see now, interest normally is pegged on a monthly basis. So to get interest per month, what I did was to take the annual interest divided by what year? 12. And then if I have 25 years, but my installments will be paid on a monthly basis, so number of months. How did I get number of months? I took basically the number of years times 12. That's what I did. Now then, I would want us to come and calculate the PMT. PMT. So that is the first thing I'll do. I'll want to come and calculate the PMT like that. Abracadabra, I'll say equals PMT. So the rate, so remember it's now monthly rate, comma, number of periods, we are paying this in months, so total number of months. Present value is the amount that Mwalimu took. You close. And I would want this to be positive. Positive. So I put a negative there, happily. So then every month, I was supposed to pay 126, and this thing is very accurate. This is the amount I used to pay, very accurate, 100%. I love Excel. 126,394, like that. Very accurate, very accurate. And I'm going to pay this for how many months? 300 months. This is per month times 300. So if I want to get the total payment, what I'll do, I will come and say here equals, I pick this, and then I say times the number of months in total. You'll pay triple normally. You can say here, you can see here, I ended up paying 37,918,472 Kenyan shillings. And as if that is not enough, you must add also the cents there. So the question is mortgage good or bad? 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 So remember, even if they were to vary this interest a little bit down, for example, if they bargain, your company bargains and you have it at 8%, you will pay 24 million. You'll pay more than double. So let me go back to my 14%. So are mortgages good? These guys are not talking to me. No goes on, bad. Repeat total payment. Total payment, what have we done? We simply took the payment per month times number of months. We took this times 300. All of them are saying bad. I think Sarah is the one who has been able to say this in a very, very good way. Great. It's unnecessary when deviated, yes, to pay within the shortest time possible. That is it. That is it. When you pay in a shorter period, then this thing becomes very easy, very nice, very nice. Yeah, I will repeat here. We're trying to explain something. I'll repeat, just concentrate fast. So in this case here, mortgages are not bad. Mortgages are not bad. All borrowings are evil. Yet when you get extra cash, you increase your PMT so that you can decrease your payment duration. Great. Ladies and gentlemen, to me, if you ask me, I like mortgages so much. Why? Of course, I know Islam, they cannot accept mortgages because of what here? Interest, riba. Riba is haram. Riba is haram. So mortgages are good because they make you to be very disciplined in life. Very disciplined in life. Very disciplined in life. Very disciplined in life. Yeah, disciplined. Yakubu, I know if it's riba haram, but the other, you also you guys borrow. So long as you have some money you have borrowed and you are paying back, it makes you to be what you are. It makes you to be very disciplined. So Yakubu, you can borrow, but of course you borrow in a situation where you're not going to be paying what you are in interest. Because if you look at, for example, nowadays, what is happening, like now men of my age, I think there must be a problem with men of my age, 44, 45, 46 there. So you get people, for example, like the other day, we just, somebody invites you to a club, you start drinking, if you're drinking soda like myself, like that. And then this guy ends up paying a bill of 80,000, a bill of 100,000. All right, a bill of 80,000, just like that. And you've done, for example, like that dining and dancing a little bit, you've done it for a couple of hours. So if you have a mortgage people cannot, ladies and gentlemen, do that because they know the risk that is what here involved. All right, they know the risk which is involved. All right. So you'll always be very disciplined. If there is anything that has really assisted me as an individual, that's how I was able to do my house in Nairobi at the age of 27. Like now, this house, quite a big house, beautiful house, right? 5 bedrooms. I'm so sure if it was not a mortgage, I would not have afforded this kind of a house. Mortgage. But what I do, whenever I get cash, I always ensure that, for example, I've gone to NIC, I've done financial modeling for them. For example, IFRS 17, they've given me like say 3 million, I'll go to the bank and give them their money. I do something small for Shuru Sacco, they give me like 300,000 to the bank, I give them. So I'm able to finish my mortgages very, very fast. Very, very fast. So mortgages are not bad because what I've seen nowadays, it's wrong. As I finish this story, it's wrong in life for you to have excess money, especially if you're a man. Never ever endeavor to have excess money with you, because look, let's speak here. You guys have had nobody here is a kid. All of us here are mature because I've just seen and heard that all of us here have kids, your families. If you go like to some of these clubs, the way they are set up, they are simply set up in a way that will snatch the boy child money. The boy child, I mean, we are endangered species. So you go there, for example, if it's these clubs I normally see, like one that I saw the other day, Embassy, along Thika Road. These guys are even importing ladies from Rwanda. They're putting very, very good lights. Music, they're increasing music every other time. You can't even go home. You even forget that you have children at home. You have a wife at home. So you are ever there. Unapigwa na mata unaangalia. Kidogo no msichana amevaa namna unaangalia. At the end of the day, you end up paying money, ladies and gentlemen, in this case here, that you should not have done what here. It's a crisis, I'm telling you. You may not be able to see this. And the time will not forgive you. Because as we get, by the time you're hitting 40, your parents are becoming old. I mean, you're being required to do this and this. So you mess up a little bit with your life like this, you are done. You are done. So to me, it doesn't matter. Even if you are saying that mortgages are bad, to me, they have helped me to be what here, walk straight. I'm so sure if it was not a mortgage, given that I do work in a very good company, I'm so sure by now I would be with my friend somewhere. I would be with my friend somewhere. I would be with my friend somewhere. So Charles Kitaka, you're supposed to know. Charles, you're supposed to know that the boys, even girls, I know girls, there are girls who are drinking like unapata mwingine anaenda ati anakuambia mimi nakunywa Mattel 10,000 one bottle. Mwingine alikuwa akisema ati mwalimu nakunywanga ati 18 years plus. So you wonder these people, honestly, is it that they are financially illiterate? It makes somebody disciplined. So, so we shall overcome. But now, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, on reflection, especially the men who have ever been to some of these clubs I'm talking about, are you agreeing with my statements or am I going overboard? Are you agreeing with my statements? Are you agreeing with my statements? Confusing. I agree. 100%. Completely yes. Completely yes. Totally true. How those clubs are set up from the time you enter saying nataka tu kuona football, maybe modest, ndakula kama 3,000, but you end up paying 30,000. You end up paying 30,000. So hakuna haja hii maneno. Hakuna haja hii maneno. You see, like, Yusuf, what he's telling, that's why riba and alcohol made haram in Islam. I sell alcohol along this route. It is just on another level. If you're a man, keep it off, bro. Unatengenezewa kifresh. Girls my age are living lavish lives with no jobs. Kumbe ni men, muna walipia. Unaona yasa hiyo, you're right. But one for the road, sometimes in a BD. I would really, Fred, tell you no. The kind of alcohol being sold outside here, I really doubt whether it's that alcohol we used to drink during our times. During our times, somebody could take a whole crate of Zakayo, we used to call them Zakayo, Guinness, and we could finish. And I mean, this thing was not really getting in us. Nowadays, you get like somebody starts with a bottle 1, 2, 3. The next 2 months, the guy is hooked up to alcohol like crazy. Like crazy. So to me, I believe that there must be something these guys are putting, which is more. If you go, like there are places you go, ladies and gentlemen, even our rural areas. If you look at how people are really running to consume alcohol, there must be something wrong with this. And it doesn't have respect that you are an accountant. The moment you are there, very soon we shall start getting you at those back end roads like Kirinyaga Road, River Road. It doesn't, with even a tie. Great. Thank you very much. So now let me go. Is a pandemic. Thank you, Anna. At least you know. Alcoholism now is a pandemic. It's a big, big problem in the society. So if you can run away from them, the better. So now let's proceed. Great. We shall overcome, yes. Great. Let's proceed here. So I would want to repeat this, ladies and gentlemen. What have I done? The loan borrowed here is 10.5 million. Interest per annum is 14%. Number of years are how many? 25. So then how do I get interest per month? You guys are accountants. You know that if interest is 14% for a whole year, then 1 month, a year has got 12 months. So to get interest per month, what did I do? I simply said here equals, and I took this 14%, I divided this by 12. Then I was able to get this. How about the total number of months that I'll be paying this thing? To get the total number of months, I know the number of years here, 25. And I know that each year has got 12 months. So times 12. That's how I got that. And then we come to the PMT. So PMT, what do? We have equals. It's PMT, like that. Double click. So the rate, what is the interest rate here? It's 14, not 14%, no. Escape. So I'm starting again, equals. So we pick the rate equals PMT. So I'm picking the rate, this monthly rate, because I'm paying this loan on a monthly basis. So the interest rate per month, I say, comma, number of periods, the number of months, 300. I say, comma, present value is the total loan borrowed, 10.5 million. The other stuff, I'm not interested in them, like that. I say enter. So when I say enter, what am I seeing here? This figure is negative. I would want to kill the negative. How do I kill it? Just come to the formula bar here. After equals, you say negative. You shall be able to get that. Total payment, forget about this. I can actually even delete the whole row. Control minus, can delete the whole row. So then let me do a loan amortization, schedule. So loan amortization schedule, what do I have? We'll start with the number of months. So we have here periods, the norm, the number of months. And I would want to start with month number 1. But now I can't write up to month 300. That will be very cumbersome. So what I need to do is basically to say enter, and then I come to the angry rabbit here. I come to the angry rabbit there. So at this angry rabbit, I would need, ladies and gentlemen, to right click. So I'll right click there, and then I will drag this thing 1 step down. I'm still holding on to right click. I go back. Once I go back there, I will be able to release the right click. So when I release the right click, I can see a pop-up window, which is talking about many things, but I'm interested in the series. And my series is going to be column series. And my stop value is going to be 300. And then I should be able to say, okay. When I say okay and I say control down arrow, I can see it has taken me to a whole 300. So I would want to see whether there is anybody who will be able to write that series all the way to 300. Let me see whether they'll be able to write the series all the way to 300. Let me see. Especially that thing, the angry rabbit, right arrow, rather right click. The right click, you hold on to the right click, and then using now your mouse. Done. Great. Pardon, I'll be able to repeat. Yes. I'll be able to repeat. Done. Great. 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 But remember, there is a shortcut, especially if you have Office 365. There is a shortcut, the sequence. But I discovered accountants don't like buying Office 365. They fear paying 8,500. Miriam can't. Umi Mwakio, great. Dancing there. Abdi Rashid, great. Done. So then I would want to repeat. So this is what I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen. I can see Shai is very angry. I don't know why. So Control Z. So what I did, ladies and gentlemen, is a very, very simple thing. Very simple thing. I want number of months to run all the way to 1 to 300. So then what I need to do is to come and place my angry rabbit on its cage. That's what I'm doing. From there, I'll go to the right click. So I click on the right, that's right click, and then I hold on to it. I'm still placing my figure there. Then I'll be able to scroll down one step. It can be even 10 steps, but you remember to go back. And then you release. When you release, you are able to see series here. All right. Don't forget to say it's column series. Don't forget to say stop value, which is 300. Don't forget to say, okay. So now I would want to see those students who are crying, whether they have been able to do exactly what Mwalimu has done. Those students who told me to pardon, have they now been able to do exactly what Mwalimu has done? I can see Oronyo dancing there. I can see Lucy Nyamu dancing there. Great stuff. The machine. Are you able to share your screen, Becky? Are you able to share your screen, Becky? Are you able to share your screen? I can't. How do I help you, Becky, now? Method 2 is basically the Office 365. I don't want to show it to you today because very few people have that. So I can see Fatma sharing her screen. Number of months. So click there. Number 1. So angry rabbit. Right click and hold on to it. And then scroll down once. You basically yeah, go get back. Go back and then release the right click. Release the right click. Yes. So there is series down there. Series, yes. And then now columns. And then stop value 360, 300, I mean, 300. 300, okay. Great. Fatuma, now you are at 360. You don't do like that, but we shall overcome. You should have said control down arrow. Control down arrow. Just control down arrow to move down very fast. Control down arrow. Don't put even your cursor. Just say control down arrow. Or normally kuna control. Male kuna control, you simply control, and then there is those 4 navigation keys, the 4 arrows. There is a down one. Yep, great. Thank you very much. We shall overcome. So now stop sharing. All these students who are telling me they are not able to do, you should be able to share your screen. You should be able to share your screen. At long last, I love that. I love that. Christine Dan. So thank you very much. So then I've been able, ladies and gentlemen, to show you how to get this. So then what I'll do, I'll come here to this other column. I write opening balance. I write opening balance. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be able to create a column for interest. After interest, I'll be able to create a column for PMT. After PMT, I'll do you a column for closing balance. So the opening is always, ladies and gentlemen, the opening is always the loan taken. So this 10.5 million. Don't lock nothing there. So you go to the interest. I'm paying monthly interest. So I'll pick the amount outstanding at the beginning times the rate of interest per month. This has to be locked. I go to the payment, I know it is this figure, so I'm picking it. I pick it, but remember to F4 it. We go to the closing. Closing is always the opening plus the rate of interest minus the PMT. Then I should be able to say enter. All right. And then, ladies and gentlemen, you have to come and repeat for month number 2. You must repeat for month number 2. So come and give me the opening for month 2. I'll pick this. All right. I move on to interest. So interest, I'm picking the opening balance. I say times the interest per month. I lock this up. I continue the journey. PMT, I know the PMT is this figure. It has to be locked, F4. From there, we go to the closing balance, which will be the opening balance plus the rate of interest minus the PMT, like that. So control enter, like that. And once I've reached there, ladies and gentlemen, I will need to come and now take the whole of these and then Angry Rabbit, I double click there, the thing takes me down. If I say control, down arrow, it takes me down to 0. Forget about that negative. It has amortized itself to 0. That is the most important thing. If you can learn this today, you can forget about every other thing. If you can learn this today, I'll be a very happy man. So remember, there is this other method of splitting the installment into principal and interest, but this time around, I would want my students to use this approach. I don't need to show you any other approach. So is there anybody whose figure is amortizing to 0 or 0.01 or something like that? How comes I'm not seeing anybody dancing there? How comes I'm not seeing anybody dancing there? I think you guys have problems, because if you don't know how to dance as an accountant and very soon you'll become a CEO, I mean, that's an international disaster. That's an international disaster. International disaster. I can't see guys dancing. I can't see guys asking questions. Oh, the other one, Samson, remember hapo umepatiwa, unajua vile loan nalipa. Ordinarily, huwezi lipa loan ati mara moja installment kwa mwaka. You know, impossible. It was just a simplified question to make you understand. Otherwise, payments are normally made on a monthly basis. Martin, please feel free to ask a question. I can see you have some ask there. Locking 3 of cell is the challenge. I'll repeat. Huawei locking the cells, please. And she is really crying to autofill the numbers. Pardon. I shall overcome. I like that. Finally, Phyllis, yes. John Mary, again, Mwalimu. No PV for SAR. No PV for here because you're using Excel. I'm so sure CPA, Joseph, you must also be doing AFR. If you're doing AFR because we don't have Excel, we use that approach of getting PVFAR. PVFAR. Great. Can I share? Why not? Why not? Why not? Please share. Please share your screen. That's the best thing ever. Please share. There's somebody there crying tons and tons of tears. If we put those tears together, I'm so sure they'll be able to feel River Nile. Thanks, Yakubu. I can see Yakubu is sharing. But you're correct, Yakubu. Why are you sharing, Yakubu? You are very correct. Already I've seen your thing is okay. 100%. But Yakubu, I think you're correct. 100%. No worries. No worries there. I've already seen something. There's something once I see like this, I'm so sure you are okay. So anybody else who would want to share, Marion? Okay. Okay. That's okay, 10.5. Interest. Let's get interest. Put your 10 million. Okay, I'll be able to come back to that. So interest. Okay, payment. That's good. Closing. Very good. So go to month number 2. Please pull the closing there. Pull it. Great. Go straight out to the interest. Equals, pick the opening balance. Opening balance times the rate per month. Rate per month. Lock it up. Thank you very much. Lock it up. F4. You press F4. Okay. Go to payment. Equals. Pick that payment. Great. Lock it. Lock it. Great. So go to the closing. Equals opening plus interest. Okay. Minus the payment. People are saying your interest rate is wrong. Go to interest of year 1. That's okay. Say enter there. Go to interest of year 1. That's okay. Interest of year 1. So interest of year 1, she took C4. Imagine she went back to 14%. Please correct that one. Correct that one. Say equals. Say equals. You take the interest, opening balance. Opening balance first. Opening balance for year 1 times rate per month. Times interest rate per month. Close it. Lock it. F4. Enter. So now please highlight the whole of month 2. Highlight the whole of month 2. Put the angry rabbit there. Double click and check it out. That thing runs very fast. Say control. You don't do like that. You don't do like that. You say control down arrow. 0. Thank you. Great. I'm happy. Great. Thank you so much. Now you see, you guys, now you have reached even a point where you are able to mark for your own colleagues. Yeah, colleagues. That's very good. Very good. Any other person who is sharing? The last person before I go to something different, please.